what's tonight for? If this team get beat, we in the final four.
He's a poor man LeBron, bro, when it comes to trades. It's like you guys look at, KD went to go
down 3 games, it's a quick sweep.
Not cap if you want to. Cap if you want to. Cap if you want to.
You know what's in me.
When I said that they let James Harden do the same thing and let Kevin Durant do the same thing, and they're essentially letting James Harden do the same thing again.
I said Kevin Durant should have took a 50-50 blame, and Westbrook should have took a 50-50 blame too. Yeah. In the words of my boy Troy, bust motherfucking down. What's going on, people? Boo wop, what's going on, man? Talk to me.
Man, you already know DJ Michael B. The boy's in the building.
Oh man, it feels so good to be back on Basket to Basket. Moo, how you living, Moo?
Moo is on mute.
I guess he living at work. I don't know what that was. He flashed up on camera and then disappeared, dog. I don't even know. Oh man. What's going on, though, people? Basket to Basket, we are in the building. I'm back with the boys for the first time in a long time. I know Troy today. Shout out to Troy, though, on the cool. I don't necessarily know where he at, but, hey, I'm pretty sure he done passed out and he's sleeping somewhere. Y'all know, I'm DJ Michael B. That guy next to me is the one and only Boo Wop. And the guy at the bottom down there is Moo. So let's get to it, man. Boo Wop, something you've been waiting on, man. Preseason has started.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
Preseason has started, and Bronny James scored his first points in the NBA.
Bronny. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, we expect he's going to eventually, score some regular season buckets. It's just, I guess, appreciate you, bro. I just guess it's all depending on somebody getting hurt, unfortunately, I guess, if he's going to get some real tick. I don't know if the Lakers are going to be one of those teams that's so far ahead, right? Where they're not fighting for seeding or anything like that, where they can kind of play extended minutes with their bench. So I really don't see Bronny playing that much right now, but shout out to Brian, man. Again, living the dream with his kid. Still amazing.
I feel that. Moo, what you got, man? Moo? All right, I'm going to do like Troy. Oh, there you go.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Well, I mean, to me, number one, like I told y'all from the get-go, I don't have no problem with LeBron James getting his son into the NBA. If you was working in the job and you can get your son in on a job that was making millions of dollars, you would too. With that being said, though, I agree with you though, Boo Up. I don't think he's gonna get a lot of run unless they do have an injury, and I don't want to wish injury on anybody for Bronny to have a chance. But I mean, injuries happen. He might get a chance. He might not. I don't think the Lakers will be so far ahead to where they're not fighting for a seed anyway. So, I mean, at this point, it is what it is. I'm happy for Bronny. I'm happy for LeBron. They get to play together. I know. Did you see the interview when LeBron and Bronny was going back and forth?
I think I did the opening day. Yeah, I think I seen that.
Yeah, Bronny was like, "Man, you stepped out of bounds." So they seem like they're definitely having fun and enjoying the dynamic, and I don't blame him, man. Enjoy your life, live your life.
Yeah.
And
I figure as long as you having fun, there's nothing that's wrong with that, right? But to give some real analysis, he only scored 2 points. So,
I was trying to stay away from that.
It's not like he dropped 45 or anything like that. But I thought he played better on defense, honestly, if I'm really being honest. His defensive outlook looked a lot more than his offensive output. 1 for 6 was the final stat line, I think, from the field. So obviously he has a lot more to work on with his offensive game, but that's going to come with time. It's just understanding the milestones that they've came to and that they'll continue to reach. I think that's a big thing, especially for the league. I know LeBron had a pretty good show in the second game. So I think it might be some good things to come from this father son duo. I guess it's kind of weird to say, but hey, we here now. We got a father son duo in the league.
Hey, I agree with your favorite hater. It's a good headline, but it's not genuine. It's fabricated. I say the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. If it was any other rookie that scored 2 points in the game, we would not be talking about it.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would have got drafted if he wasn't LeBron's son, to be honest. Like, I know that's nasty, but it is what it is. Like, the thing about it is that, again, can you blame Bron for, like, I just don't like the term that he's stealing somebody's job, or I just think it's so many more opportunities that if somebody whoever job he's stealing, more than likely is going to be somebody fighting for a spot too, just like Bron. So I don't really see it that way.
It's crazy. Like, to me, it's crazy that somebody would say he's stealing somebody's job, because it's like, okay, when J.R. Smith brother played in the summer league and he got him in the summer league the summer with him, nobody had any problem with J.R. Smith getting his brother in, but because it's LeBron, people want to hate and things like that. And it's just like, bruh, if you had a chance to get your son in the league, tell me you wouldn't do it.
That's a good point.
Some people are lying to say.
And I'm not surprised that his defense is better than his offense, because he played really good defense in college. He played better defense than offense in college. And number two, they play basketball at home. He has to guard one of the two best players ever to play in the NBA. His defense better be goddamn good.
That's also
I'm gonna say this though, like, what can Bron really teach Bronny? What can he do? Can he tell him to stop hooping? Like, I mean, Bronny gonna hoop if he wants to. Like, I don't think Bron like truly forcing him to do this. I think Bron is being the father. Like, at the end of the day, he a human being like the rest of us. Like, he want to push his kid. You know what I'm saying? You try to find that fine balance where you pushing them or you letting them do their own thing, whatever. But these some big shoes you're gonna have to fill. I'm pretty sure Brian telling them that, like, to a degree, like, but I don't really want you to feel. I want you to make your own path. I'm pretty sure he telling them all the things you tell him. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just hard, bro. Like, I don't know what he can do in this situation, because I don't think he's forcing Bronny to play basketball. Like, that's gonna be he gonna deal with the criticism just like Brian dealt with it. Like, it's gonna be there. So I mean, I think he's been dealing with it a long time anyway. Shit, just being LeBron James' kid, you're gonna deal with some type of criticism. Like, it is what it is.
There's always going to be some type of criticism, especially with who they are, right? Ron James Jr. It's always going to be some type of criticism, especially with how he was drafted, right? And like Guap said, a lot of people would take that opportunity, you know, to get their son or to get their brother, whatever the case may be, to get their somebody that they love drafted, right? Especially their son. It's just, I know a lot of people that are, I guess, to where the whole stealing people's jobs come from, which I don't really like that narrative either, right? Because a lot of, at the end of the day, you're not really stealing nobody's job. No job is guaranteed in the NBA, so everybody's working for it. Even vets, because vets don't get guaranteed jobs and guaranteed positions. They got to work to maintain or stay on a fucking roster just like anybody else. So still, that stealing people's job narrative is kind of weird, but I understand why people may feel like he didn't deserve to be drafted because there was other people in the draft at, I guess, a higher talent level than he was. But like I've been saying the whole goddamn time, this was a weak ass draft. Like, there wasn't really a lot of superstars that jumped off the page like that. So of course, in order to make a big splash, they have to take the biggest name. And regardless of the fact of how he played, the biggest name is LeBron James Jr. It is what it is.
I mean, they didn't really take him nowhere crazy.
Exactly. And that's the thing. They didn't take him nowhere crazy.
He was literally a couple picks from being undrafted.
Yeah. And it's like I said, to make a splash in the draft, because everybody understood that this draft was super uneventful, the one name that everybody was talking about was Bronny. So
Man, they was gonna talk about Bronny James in any draft, though. That's the reality. It does not. That draft could have been deep. This is LeBron James Jr., man. He's going to get talked about. People got to accept that. That's what you
exactly.
have. You have to accept that. It's going to be talked about. He's going to the league. You're going to hear this. If when Jordan kid, I think when he if social media was around at that time, it's just what it is. But the reality, Bronny has grown up in front of us. We watched him go from little kid, to now he's a young man. They're going to talk about it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it is. People just got to accept that. Like, but you don't have to be nasty about it. That's the problem. You want to be nasty about it.
I'm glad you said that, because that's the point that I brought up. Like, even if he didn't get drafted, people we're having the same conversation. Why didn't he get drafted? Oh, LeBron didn't pull any strings for his son, blah blah blah, all this shit.
Correct.
It's the same thing.
It you know what I mean? Like that's but then you would have had somebody say, I actually, that's the one thing I respect about LeBron. You know, he didn't pull no strings to get his son in the league. Like, what? Like, bro, like at the end of the day, I don't think Brian had to really pull any strings. Like, Bronny was still projected to be drafted at some point.
Yeah.
Just based off of his own talent.
So your favorite hater, he's talked about because LeBron tweeted overhyped him and attended his games, etc. I don't think LeBron overhyped his son. I think LeBron did what any father would do in that situation. I don't buy the narrative of he overhyped him. Like, I mean,
attending his son's game is quote unquote supporting him as a father. He's supposed to support his son. Like, I get it. Like, yeah, it's gonna get more coverage because Bron is there, things of that nature. Again, whether Bron be there or not, this is Bronny James. He's going to get covered. They're going to talk about him. Also, the only thing I didn't like was when I think Bron did, like, he be hooping and shit at the layup lines and shit like that. I do think that's a little bit excessive at a high school game, but because that's just, and then he doing like real freakish ass dunks that people damn near want to see at the dunk contest. Like, it's stuff like that. I ain't saying he can't do what he want to do. I think that's the stuff that probably brings more attention than anything. That type of stuff. Oh, why is he doing that at his son's game? He's just showing off and things of that nature. Those are things, if I was Bron, I probably would kind of stay away from. But at the same time, he is a fucking human being, bro. Like, it's like,
yeah, I get it. He tweeted that he's better than the cats on TV. I get it. But I mean, if you had a son and your son was in college, you were going to hype him. You're going to hype him up too. Literally. Like, I think if I had a son and my son was in college playing basketball, like, man, I think he better than this person that's hooping on TV. I mean, that's what, bro. See, this is the narrative that annoys me. Y'all complain that black dads aren't around. It's the same thing. This is the same conversation we had about the Ball brothers. People complained because he was there and he was saying, why can't my son be better than Michael Jordan? Why can't my son be better than LeBron James? Why can't he be better than the people playing on TV? Why can't he? He believes in his sons. And LeBron believes in Bronny. I mean, it is what it is. A dad should believe in his son. Yeah, nah, bro, I respect the game. I respect the game too. I'm not saying I don't respect the game. But in LeBron's shoes, if you were in LeBron's shoes, you would do the same thing because you're out there playing one-on-one with him all the time at the house. So you see what he's capable of. And sometimes it's all about where you get drafted too and what system you're in. So we've been through that before. I mean, granted, do I think Bronny is going to go down in history as a top 20 player? Hell no. I don't know if he'll go down as a top 500 player ever to ever play in the NBA. But nonetheless, I mean, hey,
man,
it is what it is.
I think if Bronny can just, again, and people might laugh at this again, but if he can carve out a career like a Patrick Beverly did, I think he still had a successful NBA career, bro. You know what I mean? Like
Nope.
everybody is not going to be a fucking superstar. You definitely have a lot of work. Like it's nothing suggesting right now, just based off what we're seeing. You probably just need to get it out your mind right now. He won't be as good as LeBron James, the daddy. He's not going to be better than him.
Facts.
Accept that right now. Accept it right now. Like Bronny James Jr. will never be his father. So I should never have these expectations of him being his father. I should have expectations of a average NBA player that can potentially carve out a decent career. If you can manage to stay in the NBA for 10 years, that is decent.
Just
That's
be
not what he's
serviceable.
saying. That's not what he's saying.
I'm saying that's not even, I'm not saying that is his ceiling. I'm saying even if that was his ceiling, that is a pretty decent ceiling to have. That is somebody that made a career in the NBA. And that's fine because again, everybody is not going to be a superstar. That's all I'm saying. That's not it. But people would knock that ceiling and be like, wow, well, that's not saying much. But the reality, that's saying a lot. Not a lot of players. I think the average NBA player, what is 4 years?
Yep.
Like, bro, that's double that. That's a hell of a career, bro. And to be like impactful in a lot of places you went. That matters.
I want people to understand that Patrick Beverley didn't miss the playoffs in his career until like 2 years ago. He had never missed the playoffs. Like, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a Patrick Beverley in the NBA. Absolutely not. If I'm Bronny, I'm probably going to reach out to Gary Payton II and be like, hey, bro, you came into the league. Everybody knew Gary Payton was your dad. What helped you? How did you get through the mental hurdles? What's going on? He should look at Gary Payton II. I think that's his person he should probably look at because Gary Payton II has carved out a very good playing career in the NBA to the point where he was impactful on that last Warriors championship team. He was very impactful in that playoff. So I don't see a problem with him not being a superstar.
I mean, I think that's what everybody has to get out of their head is that every single person that comes in from a top schooler is that superstar kid and become a superstar. Everybody's not gonna be one. Just like Buaz, it's not gonna be, oh well, he's gonna be good because he's LeBron James Jr. Like that's not the case. And to speak on Buaz's point just a little earlier, I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter what LeBron James does in support of his son. The man showed up in a goddamn boot and sat on the damn sideline during an off week in the NBA, and everybody had a problem with it. Why aren't you at practice? Why aren't you icing your foot? Like he could literally be in the parking lot watching the game via YouTube on a streaming service, and everybody be like, "Oh my God, LeBron James is in the parking lot and watching Bronny's play. What the fuck is going on? Why isn't he at the?" Like, there's always gonna be something. It's because a lot of people have certain thoughts about him, and he's one of the greatest players to play this game. So, I mean, at the end of the day, there's always going to be something to talk about in regards to LeBron James or LeBron James Jr. or shit. Even when Bryce gets of age, everybody's going to be doing the same thing to him. It's just understanding that these guys aren't their fathers. Like, that's what a lot of people got to realize. Like, I don't think that y'all got the picture with Michael Jordan, but they're not their dads. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not their father. Scotty's not his dad. Michael Jordan or Marcus Jordan ain't his dad. LeBron James Jr. ain't his dad, even though they share the same goddamn. They're not the same. And to understand what kind of role that you should have or should play in the league is important. This is literally why I had an whole episode on PBT about it. Developed versus underdeveloped. And he can understand what the type of player that he can come in and be, whether that's the Patrick Beverley build, whether that's a George or Gary Payton the third kind of or the second kind of build. Doesn't matter, right? If he can come in and be a serviceable 3-and-D guy, he's gonna have a long career and he's gonna get paid applicably so because that's what people need. They don't always need a superstar. They don't always need a guy who's gonna take over the game. No. Can you come in and do what the fuck I need you to do in order to help this team win? A lot of people are asking, why Dwight Howard isn't on the team? Why DeMarcus Cousins isn't on the team? Why DeAndre Jordan isn't on the team? It's because they still want to come in and be the superstar centers and oh my God, look at me. That's not what we need you for. We need you to come in and get rebounds and play defense. Can you do that? No? Oh, okay, well then we'll go with somebody else. If Bronny can come in and do that on a consistent basis, he's gonna stay in the league for as long as he possibly can.
So that's a good point. Let me dive a little bit deeper. There's what 30 NBA teams, 12 players on the active roster, and then you got 15 in total with three that don't suit up for a game, right? So technically there's 360 spots in the NBA. Name me 360 players in the NBA that was a superstar. And don't worry, I will wait. And that's the point. There's been more role players in the NBA than there have been superstars.
That's all that the NBA is made up of. Role players.
Literally.
I have to stress this shit every week, bro. So, like, again, being a role player in the NBA, and especially a consistent role player in the NBA, can keep you a job in the NBA. Consistency. That's just what it is. Like, and it's nothing wrong with being a role player, bro. It's nothing at all. Obviously, everybody wants to be a superstar. Everybody, we get it. But you're gonna find out as years go on, at every level you reach, how good you really are. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how that goes. If you went in the second round, bro, it's not going to be a lot of Isaiah Thomas stories where you the last pick in the draft, and then you go from that to top 5 in MVP votes and things of that nature. It's not going to be a lot of those. Those are anomalies. And yes, they should be celebrated and appreciated when we talk about these type of guys because they overachieve like a motherfucker. But the reality is we have to just be be real about this shit, bro. These players that usually go in the second round usually don't make it past their third or fourth year. Like, that's just how that goes. That's just the reality.
Bronny does and will not have the fire. Or he's supposed to be doesn't. Bronny doesn't and will not have the fire grit to work on his game. He doesn't need this. Future draft pick would die to get here. I don't know if he doesn't have the fire or grit. He might, and he's just not as talented as his dad. I mean, there's a reason why, bruh. There's literally a reason why father-son combinations in sports are never normally both superstars. Like you got the Mannings, and that's pretty much it. I mean, Ken Griffey Sr.
Yep, his dad.
I don't think Ken Griffey Sr. even went to the Hall of Fame at that. So Ken Griffey Jr. did though, but Ken Griffey Jr. ended up being better than his dad was. I think Ken Griffey Sr. made like 1 or 2 All-Star games, but he wasn't a true superstar. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that, and I keep telling people, superstars don't understand why their kids can't do what they did, but they can look at everybody else's kid and understand why they can't do what they did. That's literally what it is. Why can't you do this? Why can't you do? And they don't normally maximize on what their kids can do well.
And I think he does have the grit to do it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. We don't know that until the season and until his career actually gets started. This is all projections and all assumptions based off what he did in college. And I keep telling people that is a small sample size because he literally had a fucking heart attack.
Yeah.
Like, he literally had a heart attack at fucking 19 years old, bro. Like, we do have to understand that. So he hasn't played a lot of basketball to that level, to the point where we can actually see what he's able to do. This is the reason why I advocated for him to go back to college, just so that he can establish a better game for himself and establish a name outside of being LeBron James' son. But we don't know what kind of work ethic or grind or fire or grit that he's going to have because he hasn't faced it yet. Now, once he faces it and faces some way, shape, or adversity, which he's already facing, he went out there 2 preseason games, barely played in the first one, and then shot horribly in the second one. He's going to get better. That's where we're going to start to see that work ethic, that fire, that grit. Can he get better? Right? What levels is he taking to get better? What levels is he taking to be a better shooter? What levels is he taking to be a better ball handler? What levels is he taking to be a better passer? Be a smarter, get smarter, have a higher IQ, and so on and so forth. Like, once the season starts to get into it, because we know they're not going to stop talking about him. that's when we're going to start to see the real Bronny James and the type of player that he's going to be. But we can't assume that he doesn't have it just because he's LeBron James Jr.'s kid, because that's just not fair to him, the type of player that he is.
I just wanted to say Archie Manning never was a superstar, but
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's absolutely true.
But
it's funny because you waited on your time to say it.
Hey, I'm just saying, I'm just really harping on that point though. Like, bro, this expectation for we might have to wait for Bronny James' son to get another James superstar. Like, it's not probably going to be in this batch. Bryce look nice.
Bryce is nice though.
He looks nice. I'm not gonna lie. He looks nice. And maybe he, I don't know, bro. But at the end of the day, all I do know is that it's nothing bad with Bronny James becoming a role player in the league that had a solid career. Maybe he don't win a ring as the man, but what if he can win 2 rings as a you know what I'm saying, a rotation guy and that to me will be solid.
It's a solid career.
Tony Allen or like, again, like being one of those type of guys. Obviously, you're not gonna get the you know what I'm saying, the idolization and stuff like that. You feel me? What most players start out wanting initially when you start hooping, you want to be known as one of the best ever. Like, and I get that, but hey,
I mean, maybe he could beat Iman Shumpert on the Cavs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, bro.
There's nothing wrong with being a role player, dog. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a role players get love too. There's a whole award called the 6-man award for the best bench play. If he wins a 6-man award, it's still a successful career. I truly believe Jamal Crawford and Lou Williams will eventually get into the Hall of Fame, just for their roles on championship teams.
Well, neither one of them got
millions of goddamn dollars.
Lou Williams
and
Jamal
superstars on their own team.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Boo. Lou Williams and Jamal Crawford don't have rings, but I think they both got three of the 6-man a year awards apiece.
I think Lou he got 3. I think Jamal got 3 too.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is about Bronny is just let the man career play out, right? Whether he's good, whether he's bad. Like,
hey, Dellavedova got a ring though. He got a ring.
Dellavedova got a ring, and he was serviceable in that first finals against Steph.
And
everybody was saying, "Oh, he was a Steph killer. He was a Steph killer. He's a Steph blocker." Right?
And he started in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, if Bronny can get a narrative or a label like that, right? Like, he's gonna be fine, right? And I think a lot of the times what they do well gets glossed over by what they need to improve on, and sometimes what they need to improve on is what they do well, and it just needs to get taken to another level. So a lot of the times when you have a player with a build or with a game like Bronny, what he does well is 3-and-D, and we know he can jump out the gym. So we're going to capitalize on that instead of trying to turn him into a player that we know everybody wants him to be, but we know that he's not. And that's how you maximize his NBA career.
If Bron fan base, they travel with Bronny, he'd be all right. They gonna make sure people.
Oh yeah.
As long as he do something decent, you know what I'm saying? They gonna make sure people know about it. Trust me, he ain't got to worry about that. He just need to hope his daddy fans travel. That's all. If his daddy fans travel, wouldn't he be all right? They not gonna never let him be out here bogus like that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I can already hear it. Man, LeBron James' son had a long NBA career. What was Michael Jordan's son? He couldn't raise his kid like that. I can already hear it, man.
Hey, only thing they're gonna be comparing it to, and the only thing Michael Jordan's son's gonna have is fucking on Scottie Pippen's wife.
Oh my God. Speaking of, Marcus Jordan had a very, very good career at UCF.
He did.
He was a boy.
Yeah.
Jeffrey
else after that.
You know what? I had a question for y'all, and I didn't start off the podcast with a question. So I'm gonna give y'all a question. I'm gonna give y'all a question. This is straight up on the fly, but it's a good one. After injuries ending their season, who do you think is going to have the better season this year? Zion Williamson, or John Morant? We're going to wait till the end to answer that. I'm going to give y'all time to ponder on that. But who do you think is going to have the better season after their season being ended to injury? Zion Williamson or John Morant? But why are you doing that?
I mean, it's a good one. Well, I was going to say, is it going to be relative? Well, I figured it out.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, that's a really good question.
So moving on, we got this whole thing with Peyton Pritchard. And the question is, will we see more from him this year? I don't necessarily know what more from him is. I guess will his role grow with the Celtics is what I'm guessing is what he meant by that question. But
the Troy ass question.
It is because it's a Celtics question. I mean, like, I don't even know what to say to this. Okay. He's going from one year to the next. I would hope the Celtics would want him to get better. I think his role should increase, or his minutes should increase just a little bit, especially if you think Drew Holiday is on the backside of his prime, he's on the backside of his prime. But if you think he's going to decrease in any kind of way, sure. I'm pretty sure his role will increase a little bit because what? Boo, man, I'm just hand it off to you on this one. I really don't know.
This Troy ass question, man. Listen, Troy, the man gonna play some more, I guess, bro. Like I don't know. I'm gonna ask it. Like, what do you want us to say here, man? He's going to play a little bit more, I guess. Maybe because, like they said, they don't want to gas out a guy like Drew Holiday, who is an older player. Maybe he plays more in the regular season due to that, and I can see them doing that because the Celtics are looking to repeat as they fucking should be.
That's fucking funny, man. This man said next. Moo, you got anything on this?
I'm over here crying, bro. Y'all got me dying.
Hey, you are so mad at this damn question, man.
Fucking Troy.
I swear y'all got me over here rolling right now, bro. Holy shit. Okay, so look. What I think he meant by this question is Peyton Pritchard prone to take a higher role because of his outlook last year? He did play very well during his minutes in the regular season and during his minutes in the finals where he did hit a few big shots and came up with a few solid defensive stops in crunch time. So I'm assuming his question was, is he going to probably step up to a bigger role considering how he played last year, considering his role last year? Now, I do think y'all both made good points with the Drew Holiday take, saying that Drew is getting a little older. So maybe Peyton would take on that kind of defensive facilitator, kind of free, open whenever you kind of can take a shot kind of role. But I don't think that his defense is on par there just yet. So I guess that's, the jury's out on that one. But I do think that he's primed to take a larger role. They probably do understand that they do need him in certain spots and certain aspects of the team and how, important his role is. And, just like Bronny, when you have a role, and you own it, you're going to be valuable to the team. And I think that they understand how valuable Peyton Pritchard is now.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Comment though.
You know what? I think I got a better question than this one to talk about. And I think Boo Wop is going to appreciate this one. If you're the Chicago Bulls, moving forward, do you consider building around Kobe White, or do you consider moving him to get back assets that could supplement your team?
Yeah, my first order of business is to not necessarily build around Kobe White. I would say build with him. I mean, I think he's a great young talent, but I just don't see, like, you can't, to me, that's set up when you're trying to build around a player who you can kind of tell, like, probably not going to be the guy that's going to lead your franchise, right? Like, and I don't want to shit on Kobe White. I think he's a hell of a young player. I really do. But I'm saying, like, you have to, as a franchise, you have to ask yourself a very hard question. Like, can we actually build around him? And I don't think you can build around him. I think you can build with him. I think he'll be a cornerstone to what they got going on. But you got to move on from Levine and try to get something for him before because he's already kind of like this depreciating asset Nobody really wants to touch him right now. Like he's a, you know what I mean? Like you're not probably going to get a whole lot for him, but you're going to probably be bad for a couple of years, to be honest, if you're the Bulls. Like Kobe White is just not going to be good enough to, and if he does, again, I talk to him because I mean, I just don't see it right now. I wouldn't be mad if a team don't feel that way either because it's just not a lot to just go off of right now to truly be like, yeah, this is the guy. He looks good though. Like he looks like he could be an all-star caliber player for sure.
Experimentation in Chicago is over, bro. I don't care. Go ahead and ship off the entire team at this point. Y'all tried and it didn't fucking work. So now y'all got to do something different, bro. And I'm not saying that Kobe White isn't a solid player. He's a really good player, especially with his surges last year. I do think that he can develop into a really solid all-star player. It's just I don't think that he's a focal point to build around. Now I do understand they do got some talent that they can work with. You do got Lonzo that everybody is hoping that can actually come back and put together a whole season. You got the young kid Patrick Williams who ended up getting hurt, so they're hoping he can stay healthy. There's just a lot of guys that unfortunately can't stay healthy, and I don't think that you can necessarily bank on that. So I think that you should definitely start shipping people out for some assets, draft picks, some other guys, some other solid role players, another young guy that you can kind of build around, right? Establish a foundation. Because when I look at the Bulls, I don't really know exactly what they do or what they want to do at least, right? I don't know who they want to be the primary ball carrier, the primary ball handler. I don't know what kind of offense they want to run. Even when the team was fully healthy, somebody's gonna do some dumb shit. Sorry. Even when they was fully healthy, like I never really got the picture of what they were trying to do. So I think in order to figure out the type of team that they are, they got to start from the ground up, and like they have some assets that can help them in the future. But yeah, no, that experiment was over 2 years ago.
But it's unfortunate because I do think they actually had something cooking when they had Lonzo healthy. You know what I mean? Like Lonzo, that team looking very scary. Like
they did.
But I think what happened again is egos. I think DeMar DeRozan having that career year the way he had, you know what I'm saying? I think that rubbed Levine the wrong way. You know what I mean? Vooch honestly didn't really live up to what they kind of expected from him. I think that did hurt them a little bit. But I think the biggest thing would be Lonzo getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, that took a real toll. They was doing some nice things. They brought in Caruso. You know what I'm saying? White was developing. Ayo developing. You know what I'm saying? You had what you thought would be a decent backcourt duo or whatever between DeRozan and Levine. Like, they looked like they were, you know what I mean, on the rise, in my opinion. I thought this could have been something to look forward to the future, but obviously injuries changed that. And then again, the Levine situation, and now it's 2 years later because you really only had a short window with this experiment.
Ball has a play option and seeing he's going to opt in. Like he's definitely going to opt in. I agree with both of y'all. Boo-wop, I think you're right. They had something going whenever Alonzo was playing because they had one of the top defenses in the league. They had a good offense. I think once Lonzo went out and Zach LaVine was able to play point guard and have the ball in his hand all the time, a lot of stuff started changing. I think his ego did get in the way. Zach LaVine really in his head thinks he's that guy. Like, he really believes in his head he's Anthony Edwards. I mean, he got traded from Minnesota for he really think he thinks he's Anthony Edwards.
This is true. He does.
Or at least Devin
Booker or something.
He's an athletic freak. There's no lie on that. We all saw the dunk contest. We all saw it, but I mean, just like, yeah, bro, you're athletically freakish. But outside of that, I've never seen Zach LaVine really play some kind of winning basketball. He doesn't like to play defense. He's good on offense, but he can be a volume shooter because he's not that great of a shooter. He's not that great of a three-point shooter. He can finish at the basket pretty good. Not at a superstar level. just the era we're playing in. I mean, if I'm being 100% honest, everybody averages 20 at this point, it seems like, because the scores are so high. You know what I'm saying? Like 20 points per game is not this is not like the late 90s and early 2000s and the late 2000s. This is not the 90s and 2000s. You're scoring 160 points a game a lot of nights. If you can't score 20 points when your team is scoring 160 points, what are you doing? What exactly are you doing? So, I mean, I like Zach LaVine. I like his game, but Zach LaVine overrates himself. Zach LaVine believes in his head he's a superstar. He really thinks he's a $50 million a year player, and he's not.
I mean, it ain't even really, to me, it's not about the money for me, because like them guys gonna get that bread just based off of, again, like based off of situations, whatever, like if you put up X amount of stats, like this qualifies you for this type of money, right? But my whole thing is, to some degree, he needs to think that I'm better than him. Like he needs to think that.
Of course.
Now, do we need to think that he better than fucking Giannis and Jokic? No, that would be unhealthy. That would be like, bro, you're
delusional,
like right now. But I do think Anthony Edwards is the goal, like to at least say I'm the best two guard, because he was in that talk for a little minute. I mean, is he one of the best two guards in the league? It was him. It was Donovan Mitchell. It was, you know what I mean, Devin Booker, whatever, right? Like, so I'm thinking he needs to feel that way, because I think that's how you need to approach the game. You need to first be like, okay, I need to be the best person at my position, right? You know what I mean? Like, and that's them the guys you need to be kind of like chasing and going from that till how do I become the best player in the league? So like, I mean, to me, he's overrated in a sense. Like, I used to think he was more overrated like his first couple of years with the Bulls versus like right now. It's more like, to me, people now y'all seeing it. Like I told y'all, like he shouldn't have got that money for real, but the Bulls.
Oh, I agree. I agreed with that.
They was being thirsty. I wouldn't have gave him that money. Like, that's them the players that you don't give that money to. I let those type of players walk. I would let somebody else pay him. Fuck them. I'm not paying you. You can't be the best player on my team because I can't build around you. I can build with you, but I can't build around you. And that's not even trying to come to the Bulls.
I've always believed this, that dunk contest raised his value.
It did.
I mean,
I don't necessarily know if it raised. I think the season after he had the dunk contest raised his value, because right after that dunk contest and he went to Chicago, he went crazy for one season.
I mean, to me, Minnesota had no choice but to give him up. They ain't had no choice. They was trying to get Jimmy Butler. He was the one piece that, like, out of them three that they had, which was him, Wiggins, and Cat, like third most important, and they just had to give him up. They lucky, because if I was the Bulls, I would have tried to get Wiggins. Fuck you talking about? Nice. Fuck dude. Like, even though he turned out to be kind of like hit a better ceiling than Wiggins, right? I think Wiggins would have probably came to Chicago and dropped 24, 25 too, if you gave him his own team.
I mean, stats-wise, I think he turned out better than Wiggins, but Wiggins turned out to be a very, very important piece for Golden State to win another championship. And if it wasn't for Stephen Curry, Wiggins could have won Finals MVP in that series. But Steph Curry went ballistic. Let's just say that. He did go crazy. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
That's like saying if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen could have won Finals MVPs.
No, I don't believe that. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I'm saying like,
I know what you're saying. I'm just trolling, though. I'm just trolling. I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? If Mike didn't go ballistic, yeah. Gotti could have got him one, but that's Mike, and that was Steph. You know what I'm saying? Steph said, "I'm not another role player with nothing around here. Never again. You niggas did never let that shit down. They study bringing up Iggy, and that's my boy. But y'all make me get nasty.
Yeah. So unless y'all been living under a rock for the past 2 weeks, y'all should have already know that Dante DiVincenzo was traded to Minnesota in that trade for Karl Anthony Towns to go into New York. That was probably the biggest piece. That's the biggest piece that was traded in return for Cat. So with that being said, how big of an impact do you think DiVincenzo will make on the Timberwolves? Moo?
What's crazy about Dante is that he's one of those players that you never really know you need until you need him, right? Like, and he's one of the guys that Steph like still communicates with, just based off the relationship that they built. But he's just a guy that you know you can count on and rely on. Like, he's gonna stay healthy. He's gonna be a smart player. He's gonna be a facilitator. He's gonna take the shots that the defense is giving him. But at the same time, he's a team guy, right? He's a glue guy. He's together guy. So I think when you have somebody like that in your locker room, they become important. And it's no secret that success follows Dante wherever he goes. So shoot, I think the T-Wolves got one. I'm not gonna lie to you. Julius Randle, no, but Dante DiVincenzo, absolutely.
I mean, to me, I don't be understanding. Like, again, like when I hear shit, it just don't be making sense. It's like, what do people want New York to do, right? Because some people are like, they're saying clearly they won, right? They got rid of the Randall. But I've been hearing people say, "Oh, but I don't trust Cat. I don't." But did they not? What do you want the team to do? Not try to get better? Would you have been happier if they kept Randall? Like, they trying to get better. What do you? It's like nothing people can do to please people. Like, all you supposed to be have expectations of any team is them trying to get better. This is what the Knicks did. They got better. People still find a way to shit on Cat. He's soft. I'm like, bro, I just listened to it. Now, DiVincenzo, people said that he reportedly felt like, his minutes was finna get altered due to the additions of Mikal Bridges, things of that nature. Julius Randle being back, you know what I mean? So when he went to Minnesota, everybody's saying, well, he probably finna have the same type of situation going on there, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think he's gonna still be like a key rotational guy over there. Like, I could easily see him and what's that kid name? Nickel Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think if anybody gonna lose a little rotation, it's gonna probably be a guy like Mike Conley. I think he gonna probably, because he's an older guy, you know what I mean? I think this Dillingham kid gonna get a little bit more, opportunity, and Mike Conley gonna probably be the low man on the totem pole. Because I think DiVincenzo is gonna be very vital. I think he's gonna get you about 12 to 13 points over there, and he gonna stay ready. You know what I'm saying? He's a professional. So, like, but I also think people sleeping on Julius Randle too. I really do. And I hope Julius Randle, again, because this goes back to everybody not going to be a superstar. I don't like the way people talk about Julius Randle, bro. What do y'all want from Julius Randle?
Facts.
Like, I'm just saying, though, like, damn, he done made 2-3 All-NBA teams. He brought the Knicks back to the playoffs when them motherfuckers hadn't made the playoffs since Melo left. Like 2013, 2014 type shit. Like, he take the team to the playoff just because he a playoff dropper. Oh, we finna kill him. Like, bro, it's a lot of playoff droppers. A lot of them. We already know he wasn't that dude. Like, I don't know, like, what more you want from him. Just to play better? All right, I get that. Cool, play better. But do you expect him to, like, win the title? Julius Randle, like, as the man, come on, you don't. Like, just be real, you don't. So why you treating him like you do? Why you treating him with these expectations?
How will Cat do against Embiid, Giannis, Bam, etc. in the East? I think he'll probably do what he was doing in the West. I think he'll average a little over 20 points, average a good 10, 11 rebound. I mean, like, we've already established that Cat can't be the best player on a championship team. I think we've come to the point where we all agree he can't be the best, but nobody's complaining about him saying he can't be the second best. So I don't see the issue of he's not going to New York to be the best player on the team. So nonetheless, though, I think DiVincenzo is going to have a really good year this year. I think he's probably going to have a career year going to Minnesota. I don't see any problem with thinking that way, especially because he's going to be playing with a bona fide superstar that's going to command a lot of double teams in Anthony Edwards. And I agree with you too. People really do talk a lot of shit about Cat. They talk a lot of shit about Cat, like Cat can't play basketball. Cat can play basketball. He's just not a traditional center. Y'all said the same shit about Dirk being he too soft. He can't do this. He can't do that for him to turn around and be the best player on the championship team. Y'all got to stop this. We literally just said, not everybody can be a super. Bruh, this is why I think people use the term superstar too loosely. I tell people all the time, I think the superstar in the NBA should be the top 5 to 10 players, and everybody else outside that is just a star. And if you don't have a superstar on your team, you need 2 to 3 star players to be able to compete.
That's too much, bro. Like you said, everybody outside. Like, I think really like the top 7.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that too.
Top 7, like you said though, it's still roughly 10 though. Like, it's 3 probably in the discussion.
Yeah,
they not fully you in whatever type shit, but they might have just done enough to respect their body of work as number 1 options. Cool, but then you got about like 10 to about 15 stars. Like, guys that might be masquerading as number 1s, but more likely number 2s. And then everybody else probably like situational number 3s. Like, everybody else, I ain't even say everybody else. I'm gonna say about the next 10 to about. I'll say all the players in the top 100 are either capable of being a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3. Probably like everybody in the top 100, maybe
in the right situation. Yeah,
situation. But everybody else outside of that, bro, is role players, bro. Like, severely role players, and I mean they situational as hell. Role players. Team needs, team fits, which is cool. That's fine, because only the for all it takes for that is to be consistently healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being available, a professional. You can carve you out an NBA career being that.
Yep. I agree with that.
That's true.
You got anything, Moo?
Oh, to answer Buov's question, I just want Julius Randle to fucking play. That's it. I really don't care about nothing. Just play. I don't care about you being a superstar or nothing like that. It's just every single fucking time I see you not on the court, you hurt. Bro, I don't know if you need to drink some milk, eat your Wheaties. Bro, I don't fucking know. But, bro, play. That's all I want you to do is play. Like, can I see you play again? Because last time I seen you play, you was pretty good. Shit. I just want to see it again. That's it. I'm a fan of Julius Randle. That's it.
I mean, he has been hurt the last 2 years for sure. He definitely got hurt. And I think it was unfortunate because when he got hurt, it was right before the playoffs. He was balling that regular season.
He was.
Exactly.
Like, I just think sometimes should be unfortunate. But again, like, for me, it's just the expectations be unrealistic because most of the time, like I'm not saying you move, but a lot of times
Stephen A. Smith.
when you heard people, yeah, Stephen A. Smith too, but it's just people in general, like when they talking about a player, like during the regular season, nobody's giving Julius Randle any flowers. They're just mostly talking about his flaws. And with all, and he's like a Russell Westbrook type of dude. People harp on their flaws more than anything.
Facts.
And it's just like, damn, can you give them credit for something? The man is carrying the offense. Like, I've watched him do that. He carried the offense. And people will just say, oh, well, he did have a great defense surrounding him. You can put a lot of players in that position, and you're not going to tell me they're going to put up what he put up, them numbers. For one, you're not going to tell me that, and you're not going to tell me he's going to carry a team like that to the top 4, top 5 seed in his conference. You're just not going to convince me of that. Especially a player you don't think is really like that.
Boo, I spin the truth on here tonight. I see. Boy, you came ready to spit tonight.
Man, this what I mean, man, bro. I've been out here it's all I hear is just, again, I'm not saying neither one of us is doing it, but it's just still when you just be in these basketball forums and these circles and just hear how people just disrespect players because they're not as good as they already, like, you already been saying that you don't think he's like that. So why would he prove to you he's not like that? You're shocked. You're shocked? Like, I'm finna kill him even more. I told you. Like, good job, bro. Good job.
That's a good point. Because a lot of people expect these guys to be superstars coming from other teams and save their team. And it's like he was never that. He was never supposed to be that. But he was a good player and got y'all team to new heights that y'all ain't seen in shit hella long, if we being honest. And just because he's not a LeBron James or not a Steph Curry, he's weak now, right? But just a few months ago, everybody was praising him because, you know what I'm saying, he got the Knicks out of, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I understand what Boo Wop's saying, and a lot of the times it's Stephen A. Smith and his other New Yorkers that don't know how to accept anything except what they know. So that's the ultimate problem. But I think a lot of the times at those markets, you get the fans and they'll put a lot of the expectations on these guys, and it's like, bro, why would you put the expectation on that guy when he's never had the expectations before? So like, why would you expect him to save your team when he's never been a team savior at all, ever?
But it's like, what do they know though? What do the Knicks fans know? Do they even know anybody that was alive when they won the last ring? Like I'm just saying, like I don't even understand. Like they act like they just always be in the hunt. Like they haven't had a real like contender type team since the 90s. Like
they got lucky in 99 when they lost to the Spurs in the finals. Yeah. The last time they had a contender was when Patrick Ewing was in his prime and they played against the Rockets.
What are they expecting? Like, they should be happy when a team actually puts together a good team. Like, they should be ecstatic about this team, but they should have also appreciated Julius Randle getting them to the playoffs. That's my whole thing. They should have appreciated that. They should have appreciated that because you didn't think y'all was going to the playoffs when he arrived. You wasn't like, oh, we got Julius Randle. We going to the playoffs. You didn't think y'all was going to the playoffs.
Nah.
No. Julius surprised the fuck out y'all. Got y'all in the playoffs. Be happy, man.
It's one of those situations where Julius is damned if you do and damned if you don't. Hopefully, I hope he goes crazy in Minnesota playing with Ant-Man and DiVincenzo on them. But I hope they go crazy. I really do. But you know, you can't please people, man. People got their own expectations, and thank God he's not one of those that live in that shadow.
It's their own criteria. Like, it's the superstar, and then if they gonna value the superstar first, and then they gonna value winning. Like, people will value having a role player that was a number 3 or a number 2 over a player that was just truly the number one for his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
You see it all the time. So it's just like everybody tends to value winning. Like winning trumps everything to a degree.
Yeah. Moving on here. Send my first look at the Knicks. Anybody got anything to say about this one? I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit just now, but send my first look at the Knicks.
Yeah, you could tell Cat gonna be very impactful to that team. You can see it right now. He's opening up all type of new driving lanes. He's bringing the bigs out the paint. So that's just what it is going to be. So yeah. On top of that, everybody can spread the court. So a guy like Jalen Brunson is going to be, playing a lot of one-on-one basketball, which is a good thing. So
Yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting look for the first few weeks. People may not be used to seeing Cat in that white and orange, but as far as the gameplay, like Buak said, it's gonna be a lot more spacing. It's gonna be a lot more. To me, it looks like it's gonna be a lot more three balls. It's probably gonna be shot. You bring in Cat, you got Mikal Bridges, who is also a pretty solid 3-point shooter. Jalen Brunson, of course. So it's going to be a lot of stretching of the floor, a lot of space. Like I said, a lot of shooting. You're going to have Mikal and Josh Hart really there as far as perimeter defense, and then Josh Hart cleaning up a lot of the glass because we know he's a rebounding fucking dog. Once they get Elijah Mitchell back, because they don't have Isaiah Hartenstein anymore, that's posted that middle and that defense a little bit better. So I think they're planning on really just focusing on having their guys take them to the promised land and just running through Jalen, Mikal, through Cat, and I think that's the main thing is that they have other guys that they can kind of you look to for offensive prowess, other than a Dante DiVincenzo from last year. They didn't have Julius Randle last year, but we're constantly losing guys that can give you offensive output. Is kind of tough. So when you have guys like a Mikal Bridges, like a Cat who can score in really high volumes, it definitely helps out your star player in Jalen Brunson. So what we seen a few nights ago was just a taste, but I think that they'll get a lot better and then start to gel. And when they hopefully, if everybody stays healthy for the playoffs, it should look really scary.
Yeah. Here's my only issue with New York. And, hot take, spicy debates, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Here's my only issue with New York.
this motherfucker.
Shut up. Here's Jalen Brunson came from Dallas and he wasn't the number one option, right? He's in New York and now he's the number one option. I've always felt like there was an issue until obviously Isaiah Thomas and Steph Curry are pretty much the anomalies here, but I think Isaiah Thomas was a good pass first point guard as well when he needed to be. My only issue here is, do you think this team can be the team to win outside of the Warriors in however long now with somebody who is looking essentially to score first now? Like, can Jalen Brunson adapt to not being a score first point guard again after last season? Because last year he was.
Why would he be not a score first?
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I'm sitting here on the other side saying, well, how many point guards have won a championship being a score first point guard and being the number one option? Right. You got Curry, you got Isaiah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess even when Tony Parker won his Finals MVP, I mean, a lot of people might still agree that the offense was still Tim Duncan first, but the matchup favored Tony Parker being a score first point guard in that series against the Cavaliers.
But I would still say he's just a score first point guard anyway for the most part of his career. Anyway, like I ain't never really seen a version of Tony Parker like other than his first couple of years where he was kind of like, playing the quote unquote point guard, You know what I mean? Like for the most part, he's still been just a scorer, the score first guy. And I get what you're saying. It is tougher for guys of that stature to be the number one option and get it done, which is why we do give the praises to the Isaiah Thomas and the Steph Currys of the world for doing it. But at the same time, I'm not sitting here saying they can, right, necessarily do it. I don't know. I don't realistically think they can beat Boston. I think they can give them a run for their money for sure. Beat them, I don't see that. So again, I can't kill them for getting better, though they supposed to try to get better. And I think Jalen Brunson will still be Jalen Brunson. I think guys like Mikal Bridges, who was getting like this crazy praise like last year when he first got to Brooklyn or whatever. Well, whenever he got to Brooklyn with KD, with that KD trade, like people were saying he was going to be next up. And I was telling people like, cool out. Like, I really didn't see that. I just felt like he filling the void right now. He playing good basketball, but like I wasn't seeing next level in him. And so I think he's going to go back to kind of what he was doing in Phoenix, honestly, right? Like 15 points a game, great defense, cool. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much who he's going to be. Cat, same thing, like 20 and 10, 20 and 9. I think Brunson's going to still get you about 25, though. You know what I'm saying? Like 25, 26 a game, 6, 7 assists. I just don't think it's just going to be able to beat Boston. And I ain't saying they can't, though, either. Like, just saying I don't see it right now. Like, honestly, I think Boston just got the better team. And they got that proverbial monkey off their backs right now. It's going to be tough to beat them. You know? Like, so, again, I get what you're saying, though. Is it going to be tough still? Because, again, I think Boston can guard them better still, no matter what. They got the Derek Whites, the Drew Holidays to kind of somewhat neutralize the Jalen Brunson scoring. And on the flip side, they do got a Mikal Bridges and the Jalen Brunson to kind of like, I mean, not Jalen Brunson, but Josh Hart, right, to kind of like neutralize JT and Jaylen Brown, but you still got the, you know what I mean? I don't know. When I do the matchups, though, it do kind of look New York got some shit going on, bro. Like, yeah, bro.
Kind of dicey there.
Because, I mean, depending on how you feel about KP, depending on how you feel about Cat, I think that's a coin toss.
At this point in their careers, it is.
I think that's a coin toss. Like, I think they could all, at worst, cancel each other out type deal. You know what I mean? Like, so it's I don't know, bro. Like, I think
for sure if they get matched up against Indiana again and everybody's healthy, I think for sure it's to me to be a conclusion that they will beat Indiana.
They beat Indiana, bro.
So I guess you know what? I guess going further in the playoffs, if you're the Knicks and you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, that should still count as a successful season and a step in the right direction too. So
it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and at the same time, we haven't necessarily full on seen it yet, but I do think that how they're currently constructing the team is going to ultimately work out for them right now. I'm not saying championship, but I am saying we have seen the type of success that people have tried to build when focusing on more of a point guard first. And if you build it with a guy like a Mikal Bridges, who we know is a solid 3-and-D guy, with the Cat, who we know is also is a really good shooter in his own right, and can also really can give you really good minutes offensively and at the same time and show up on defense when he wants to, right? Like, I think them kind of trying to construct it and build it that way is going to ultimately help out and just benefit him in the long run. And like I said, we still got to see it, right? We didn't know that Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas can be the small score first point guards to win the championship until we've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think with with the current, with the current outlook of how their team is going and how they're currently constructed, I don't doubt it. And just like Buab said, like the matchups, once you really go through the matchups in that roster, you start to think like, man, they might be able to just to sneak a series. You know what I'm
Because
saying? You
I
never know.
because I said fucking Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart. I didn't even mention OG.
Hmm.
Oh, I forgot about OG. Oh,
They
Yeah,
got
like
some heat, bro.
they
they
got some
do.
heat.
Heat, bro.
The Knicks was really banged up last year, and I think a lot of people kind of wrote them off because they were banged up and of the heroics of Jalen Brunson, of course, right? But I've been saying to people like, nah, y'all got to really pay attention to these boys over here, man. If they were fully healthy, and I'm not even just talking about with the Jalen Brunson not breaking his, I'm talking about what they had DiVincenzo or Josh Hart doesn't get hurt that last game. Like if
Yeah,
they had a Julius Randle,
even
Isaiah
if Julius
Hartenstein,
Randle
like
played, yeah.
yeah, like they building a squad over there in New York, and I think they're building it smartly for the first time in a long time that we've seen. So if they can stay healthy, I know Troy not worried, but I feel like man, a lot of people in Boston should be.
Man, listen.
You talking about somebody irrational, dog?
I was gonna say, listen, man. When Troy starts saying shit like he not weird, you better know he's fucking weird. Like that's called a survivor's remorse from Troy.
Yeah.
Like
That roster,
like yeah,
those
you know what I'm
rosters
saying.
match up very well. Y'all might want to be worried.
Troy,
Oh man,
Troy, like if I start thinking it, then I might believe it. Type like that's why he can't think it. So he just gotta like no. Nobody's. We could beat everybody. Like it's nobody he's afraid of. Miami, nobody. Like it's nobody he's afraid of.
Hey, you might want to start. I'm not saying be afraid, but you might want to start looking like, hey, they start giving that side eye, like, all right, bro, what y'all doing over there? Cause
I
they
can't wait
cooking.
to watch this shit. We gonna be at it.
all right, man. Kawhi Leonard made some comments about the Clippers. You know his team that he's on. Buwab, did you see the comments?
Yeah, Kawhi crazy.
Kawhi Wallen. He's basically saying he hasn't seen anybody that stands out yet since Paul George has been gone. What you think, man? You think Kawhi is just trying to light a fire under his teammates so somebody can step up? Do you think he just really believes that, yo, we're gonna suck because I'm in this thing by myself?
I don't really think he really saying nobody suck type deal. It's just I think he being as honest as he can be. Like this really the same team. We got a couple of new faces. Obviously, you missing a familiar face from the last couple of years. Definitely a significant piece of the past core is gone, which is Paul George, right? But I think he being honest. Like he ain't seeing nothing out there to be like, yeah, we look different this year. Like they really don't. They probably look like the same Clippers team minus Paul George. Like nothing's major finna change.
And minus Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, but he ain't really like a part of a real fabric either. And ain't nothing new to be like be like, you know what I mean? Like James Harden up running the offense. Does the offense probably run slightly better in years past? Probably a half court offense. Probably so. Because James Harden is more of a natural point guard than anything they done had since Kawhi's been there. But I can't see it being to the point that like Kawhi feeling like, yeah, we all right. You feel me? Like it ain't much to really harp on right now.
That's the damn truth. Moo? Moo? Nothing from Moo?
My bad. I think my headphones just died. But
There you go.
that's a crazy way to say my teammates suck. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like,
That's
that
a
was
respectful way to
wild,
say
bro.
it.
I
I
was
mean,
like,
that's
man, nah, my
simply
teammates
what
are
it is.
ass, and I really don't know how good we're gonna be.
Like, we don't look special at all.
I respect the honesty. Shit, bro. Shit,
I
we
respect the
suck, and I
honesty.
don't know how to. I don't know how to deal with it. Right? None of these niggas jump off the book to me. Right? Hey, I respect it. Shit, y'all niggas suck.
Yeah. I mean, Kawhi is being such a stupid. Kawhi,
That's what he
Kawhi has been
said.
on. No, not you. I'm talking about Boo Wop doing the damn Kawhi Leonard laugh.
Because that's what he said. He did it during the interview. He was like, bro, I don't nothing really jump off the page. You feel me? Because he basically just said these niggas suck, and he kind of gave the little laugh with it, and you know,
uh,
man, that's it.
I respect Kawhi's honesty too. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's been on 2 championship teams. He kind of has an idea what a championship team would look like, and he would know if they had a special group or not. And let's be serious. Nobody is giving them anything past the first round for the most part. Could they make the second round? I guess with the right matchup, they could. But I do believe there's at least 5 teams right now. Shit, there might be 7 teams right now on paper. But then Memphis is coming back. Ja will be back this year, so Memphis coming back. So you can go ahead and throw Memphis in the fold. OKC, I believe, is going to get better with age. I mean, it sucks that Kawhi Leonard was hurt 95% of his career and somehow still carved out 2 rings in between. But I mean, hey, it is what it is.
That's a crazy way to say your teammates suck, though.
Yeah, that it. Well, I mean, you don't just want to come out and say my teammates suck, so we're not going nowhere. You know, you just got to kind of dress it
James
up.
Harden basically said it. Shit, James Harden was like, nigga, we don't need a system. I am the system. Basically saying, nigga, shit, hey, they suck. So I gotta be, nigga, I gotta be him. I understand it.
I mean, James Harden was still him though when he said it. I think that's the difference here. Like we haven't seen Kawhi Leonard be him in a while.
Well, nah, he just recently came out and said it again though. Like, nigga, I'm still James Harden. Nigga, I still don't need a system. I'm still the system. Which,
James Harden is the NBA's Troy right now. He's just fucking delusional.
yeah, I just feel like these 2 niggas is coming out saying their teammates need to get better because one nigga saying I don't need a system. I'm not the system was basically telling me, nigga, hey, I'm better than the system because my teammates are ass and we can't run the system that they want to run. So I got to be the system. And Kawhi is like, hey, all these niggas suck, bro. So
I mean, technically, I'm not gonna say these niggas suck. I mean, they're obviously better than me, but I mean, I kind of agree with James Harden on this one. And Kawhi, I really do.
I can't be mad at him.
I can't be mad. Like you go down the roster, it's like, I mean, who your third best player would be? What, Zubac?
At this point, yeah, I think so. Or what, Norman Powell off bench?
Norman Powell, yeah. Like on any given night, Zubac and Norman Powell could be the third best player, and that's not gonna get you a lot of wins in the NBA. Hell, it wasn't getting them a lot of wins last year when Paul George was their best or second best player.
Yep.
However you look at it. Fact of the matter is the Clippers are about to fade back into irrelevance and they should really start looking around. And I hate to say they should probably look to trade James Harden because James Harden been on so many teams these past couple of years, but they should probably get to looking to trade James Harden and Kawhi Leonard and start over and rebuild. You had your person to build your team around, but you traded him away to OKC for Paul George.
That's a good point.
You had him. You had SGA. And people forget Doc was very adamant about not trading SGA, but Clippers management came in and said, nope, trade him.
Mm-hmm.
And as much flack as I give Doc on the show, right. And as much flack as I give Doc on the show for not being the best coach and the Celtics kind of winning in spite of him in 2008 because he had an overly talented team. He was right about this one.
That's true.
So, damn it, Boo-Wop gone, and I was going to have him do the in the post. So let's talk about this, and then when Boo-Wop comes back, we'll do in the post. We're going to answer the question, then we'll get up out of here. All right? So,
show.
Shams has took over as the new senior NBA insider, the Woj bomb is officially gone from ESPN. How do you feel about Shams taking over?
It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. And I was reading about this story earlier, and like I said a few weeks ago, like with Woj, it was different because like he would literally shut down the sports world. Like everybody would stop and listen, right? Everybody would stop and wait for the next tweet, wait for the next Woj bomb. I don't think it hits the same with Shams Charania. And it's like no disrespect to Shams. I think he does a very good job in his role and what he does for ESPN and for basketball. But like I don't know if I don't think it's just gonna hit the same with the Woj bomb. Like a Woj bomb, you literally like it damn near stopped the world, bro. And I think it's just not gonna hit the same, right? Like you got the Woj bomb. I don't think they're gonna do the Shams bomb because it might not, you know, be appropriate. I'm not even gonna lie to you, just looking at the outlook of everybody involved. If you know, you know. So I think, it's not gonna I don't know, it's not gonna hit the same. And then I know they had an idea with to bring Shefty on as like the main guy to, kind of coordinate between both the football show or football and basketball and kind of give him his own like show or whatever the case may be. But I think that probably would have went over a little bit better just because a lot of people already know and are already familiar with Shefty and what he does. And Sham has a lot of his hands in a lot of different pots. And I just think I don't know. I just don't think it'll hit different. Now maybe it's something that we all got to get used to, but I don't know. I don't know. He might have to come up with a moniker for us to like really get on board with it or something.
That shit ain't gonna hit the same, dude. Fuck him.
That's exactly. See, that's exactly what I'm saying right there. You got other people like that. Like fuck that nigga Shams, bro. I don't care.
A Woj bomb was like a real, you feel me? Like he had his own his thing, bro. Like that shit over with, bro.
Yeah,
I think
Sam's gonna have to deal with that.
I think like, one of the biggest. Sam's. I think one of the biggest things that's where I was going with it. I think Woj had built up that credit with the NBA players to where players trusted him. If they would probably reach out to him before it comes out and be like, hey, this is going to happen. Don't do it yet. And as soon as I sign, I'll let you know and you can drop it. I think Woj had already had that rapport after being around the NBA for so long. And I don't know what they're gonna do with Sham. Maybe a Shams alert, like an Amber alert. I don't freaking know. I don't know. I just know.
Gotta be creative.
I just know with Woj gone now. It's kind of like every so often a sports anchor or somebody comes along and they take the sports world over for what it is. We saw it with Stuart Scott in the 90s. For those of us like me that were a little bit older than y'all too, but I'm pretty sure y'all saw Stuart Scott in the 90s as well.
Cool on the other side of the pillow, man.
Right?
You trying to tell me I'm the big bro?
Shut up. Well, I'm trying to look, bro, your ass right now, man. Chill. Wait, how old are you? How old are you, Boo?
35, man.
Okay, so you 1 year older than me. Okay.
Big bro. I told you.
Yeah, I'm about to they're the same age. Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. I'm 34. This dude acting like
No, you said those I'm a little bit older than you two. Like
yeah. He's talking about me. He's talking about me and Rod. We the youngest on the pod.
Oh, Rod is just ridiculous. Yeah, he's still
that young though. Yeah, I ain't that young
though. But no, I just don't think I don't know if Shams got it, bro. I haven't seen enough of him. I don't think anybody's seen enough of him to know if the Woj bomb was like this. It just took on a life of its own because, I mean, Woj was so engaging. They really have to come up with something creative for a moniker for him because the Woj bomb was it.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
I used to be so excited at work when it was like Woj bomb. I was like, hell yeah, let's see what it is.
Bro, I'm telling you, Adrian Wojnarowski literally shut down Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Don't matter, bro. He would shut the shit down. You will literally be waiting on your phone, refreshing your timeline just to see another Woj bomb, just to see what Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted, just to see who's going where, especially free agency, freaking trade deadline. Like, bro, if there's one person who can stop the sports world, it was literally Adrian Wojnarowski, bro, with the trade deadlines, with the free agency mark, whatever the case may be. If he's tweeting it, bro, everybody's stopping and refreshing that timeline, just so they don't miss that goddamn that Woj bomb, so they can be the first to retweet it or the first to quote tweet it or the first to post it, whatever the fucking case may be. Like it just hit different.
Big facts. Boo Wop, you got anything else to add?
No, I'm good, bro.
I bet. Boo Wop, you know what time it is.
Oh shit, this in the post shit.
As soon as I find this damn video, y'all got too much videos on here. This is crazy. Here we go.
You feel me? So, as y'all know, my favorite time of the year, NBA preseason. You know what I'm saying? Which is basically the appetizer to the real deal. You feel me? But from what we seeing right now, though, like I'm really moved by, again, the Knicks. I really do think that this might be their best chance to probably like get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, I like Milwaukee. Everybody know that. I love Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Giannis, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not really sold by Giannis and Dame right now. I don't like the depth that team has. The Sixers, they look interesting. I mean, I think they could be scary too. They have a very good, well-rounded team right now. But again, I think these Knicks can make things very interesting from what I'm seeing. And as we know, the West is wide open. I was saying Denver last year, but Denver to me is the one team out of like the contenders that really didn't get better. They kind of got a little worse, honestly. So we'll see. But yeah, let's get it, man.
All right. I can mess with that. That said, if the Knicks go to the Eastern Conference Finals, bro, it's a successful season for them because they took a step in the right direction and getting better.
Been saying it since 2020. If the Knicks ever win a championship, New York's gonna be an island.
Bro, I'm not lying. If New York was to win the championship, I'd get on a plane and fly down there because I know it's gonna go crazy.
I would not go near that place for a week because it's gonna be an island. I'm telling you, New York ever win a championship, it's gonna go up out there, man. I don't know why, but that motherfucker is gonna be floating in the middle of the Atlantic after the parade. I promise you.
That's gonna be epic.
Well, all right, man. So let's go ahead and answer this question. You know, I asked the question earlier, as y'all know. Zion Williamson and Ja Morant are coming back from injury. I seen Zion warming up and doing some dunks early on TV. That's where I got this question from. Who do you think will have a better season between those two? Obviously, Ja came back last year and got hurt. Zion, unfortunately, stays getting hurt at some point throughout the season. For both of them, it's just going to depend on health and who you think will have the better season. But if you had to pick right now, who you got, Boo Up?
I want to say Zion. I think Zion, no health injuries, none of that type deal, whatever. Just 100% healthy. I think he could potentially be like a top 10 player in the league. Like, but I think Ja as well. But I just think Ja in just a better situation in my opinion too, like team wise. So his impact going to be it might appear to be more than a guy like Zion, depending on what the Pelicans is doing.
Moo?
I'm gonna say Zion, and I think because Ja, I think with him, tweaking his ankle tonight, I think that's gonna be tough. Not playing a specific sport for a while and then trying to come back and play it and be full speed and be as explosive as you were, regardless of the fact of if you we're dealing with injuries or not. I think that plays a big part. So I think Ja is probably going to be working to get to back to where he was prior to suspension and him getting hurt and stuff like that. So I think it's going to take a little bit more time for him to adjust. Even though he has made, some steady plays tonight prior to him, rolling his ankle, I do think once it gets out of preseason and it gets in the real grit and grind of, the NBA season, I think he's going to have a little bit more to adjust to. But with Zion, I think all he has to do is stay healthy because we understand how much of a difference maker he is on that team. And if he's just able to stay healthy for a season, where including the playoffs, I think he's the ultimate difference maker. And like Buoff said, he's potentially a top 10, top 15 player when he's healthy. So I think that's what everybody's been waiting for, especially when you're looking at New Orleans to take that next step. So I got Zion.
Wow, I thought I was going to be on the island out here by myself with this one, but I'm going with Zion too. And taking health and everything into consideration, I think Zion finally he lost the weight. He looks 100% healthy for the first time in his career. I'm not even going. This boy grubbing, man. I think Zion looks healthy, more healthy in his career. And to be fair too, I think a lot of Zion's injuries have just been kind of like freakish injuries. You know what I'm saying? Like it was basically because he was too heavy and he was landing too hard and things like that. Whereas I think Ja's play style is more of a hindrance to him getting through the season than Zion's is. And I really hate to say like that, but Ja is literally how Dwayne Wade was his first couple of years in the NBA before he adjusted his game when LeBron got there. It's a lot of high impact plays. He's always getting up off the floor and things like that. And I hope that his body holds up because I think Ja is a special player. Obviously, we all think Ja is a special player, but I think Zion would. I kind of disagree with Memphis being a better overall team than New Orleans. Brandon Ingram is still there, and I think Brandon Ingram is a better player, a better second start than anybody that Ja has in Memphis. I really do. And
yes,
that's fair. Honestly, it is. That's definitely true.
And they have a better 1-2-3 punch, but it's the depth in the mixture. Now I'm
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. Obviously, no slight to Jaren Jack Jr. I mean, he can ball, but he's not Brandon Ingram. I just thought he's not Brandon Ingram.
And the next best player on that team is Desmond Bain. So it's like comparing him to who's CJ McCollum.
You're right.
They like all in the same tiers, but like you said, BI is clearly a better number 2.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I do think I think Zion will have a greater impact to their overall team. I think because last year at one point weren't they were number 1 for a while in the West. They were balling.
They were about to upset who was it? Shit, they was about to upset somebody in the playoffs before Zion came back, or in the play-in before Zion came back.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Zion too. Because Memphis 2 years ago still made the playoffs and still had a pretty good playoff showing without Ja Morant anyway. Obviously New Orleans still made the playoffs without Zion. What was it, 2 years ago, or was it last year? Last year, they were. I mean, Zion got hurt, but I mean they still had a pretty good showing too. But I think New Orleans is more ready now with a second star than Memphis is. I think Memphis still has some things to figure out here. What are you going to do going forward? Do you keep Desmond Bain as your second best player? Do you go out and look for another second best player? I think Memphis still has some questions to answer. But man, we've been on here. We've been on here for what, an hour and a half. Moo, final thoughts, man.
Hey, final thoughts. You already know what it is. It was a really dope show today. We understand that we came on here just a little late, but we're dealing with some things in the background, you know what I'm saying? But we had to come here to give y'all this good old content. Make sure you guys catch the rest of the shows throughout the rest of the week, starting with, of course, Gentlemen's Talk on Wednesday. We got a really dope-ass fire show coming towards y'all this Wednesday. Somebody dropped a list talking about some of the worst rappers. And I think some of our guys on the Gentlemen's Talk didn't like that. So we're going to have to go ahead and get into that a little bit. And then Thursday, make sure y'all tap in with us for PBT. And then Friday, we talking at it. We're inside the huddle. We can catch y'all then. Make sure y'all tune in. Peace.
Boo up.
Man, you heard what my boy said, man. Catch all them shows, dope content. This is what we do, man. But y'all already know, man. I'll see y'all Monday.
Final thoughts for me. Look, I'm proud of Boo Wop for saying something else other than catch me Monday. We out of here, y'all. If it'll let me get off this dang